I'll start it off and then we can go. Get ready. Hey guys, welcome to CBTV. This is our ongoing segment 4x2, 4 topics by 2 people. That's me, Lauren,
Caroline.
Alright, so let's dive in today. What do we have?
So today, guys, we're going to be talking about Donald Trump. Okay, so at Las Vegas, on the eve of the final Republican presidential debate of the year, protesters, they were there, and a supporter yells, a Donald Trump supporter yells, light the beep on fire. As the protesters are dragged away, the protesters ended up talking to reporters, giving their explanation. Protesters had, in my opinion, very good excuses to why they were doing what they were doing, And not just that they're protesters, they took time out of their day to go protest about something, Obviously it wasn't just one person, it was a group of people. It's quotations, we came to the rally tonight to make sure issues that matter to us were heard. 1. 2, they immediately used physical force. 3, I absolutely was being disruptive, but I was making statements. I felt hands grabbing me. So my question today is that okay? He wasn't violent, so why push that violence? He admitted that he was being very disruptive. He saw hey, I was wrong, but I have my rights, so how do you feel?
Definitely, I do understand what he's saying, and it is our constitutional right to protest. We have the right to speak out against things that we think are unfair, which I would be right there with him protesting for Donald, but that's neither here nor there. But definitely, I do understand him being removed from the event. He was a disruption, so he should be moved. But the fact that they were being forceful, and what the Donald Trump supporters said, light him on fire. I mean, he used a lot more, foul language, but okay. Why is he whispering?
I don't know.
Why am I whispering? You got to record. What do you mean? What are the facts?
What were we even saying? Oh my god! For real! Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Tell me about forceful.
Okay. I'll just start from, So, the aggression and the force used to remove him from the event, and also the language from the Donald Trump supporters, that really shows what they're all about and really what Donald Trump stands for. I mean, that level of aggression over someone just disagreeing with, what you're doing, it's ridiculous. There's ways to handle this, and we've seen this time and time again with Donald Trump, it was the Hispanic News Network. Remember when Donald Trump was having a rally and someone interrupted him? I mean, he made jabs at him. He said things, that just not called for. And I remember other times where Donald Trump has just made very insensitive comments against people that are protesting against him. And protesters are nothing new in presidential debates and rallies and things like that. And
somebody's always going to disagree with you.
Exactly. And it's how you handle it. It really shows a lot about you. And I think, we already know what Donald Trump is all about.
Yeah. I don't think it was a surprise. Mm-hmm. I think it was just it really opened a lot of people's eyes and be like, these are his supporters. His supporters are very much extremists. They're very to the left or to the right, they believe in what they believe in. And it kind of sucks thinking he's the, maybe like, I don't know if he's still number one, but he's one of the top Republicans, like, you know, that are doing great on the polls, like, you know, obviously, like they haven't had, like, the what are they called, like, the pre-elections, I don't know.
Yeah, they're not, it's not.
Yeah,
finalized
like,
yet. Okay.
they haven't, like, finalized it, you know, like, he's not the Republican person, I was like, the Republican candidate, but he's still one of the top people that might get it, and just the fact that, like, somebody, like, such extremists could win, somebody that's very, like, this is what we're doing, this is it.
It's very terrifying. Like his
Yeah.
comments in the media about, you know, we should ban all Muslims or we should have them wear certain things to identify them. You know, that's very strong language again, and he could be the Republican candidate. He could possibly be the next president.
Do you
of the
feel like
United
he
States.
could win?
Well, I sure hope not. Honestly, I don't know. I don't take him seriously. Like you said, the polls are not official. Like
Yeah.
nothing is official. And I think America loves Donald because he's entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why, you know, he gets the attention. He says things that presidential candidates just don't say, and we
Yeah.
love watching him. I mean, he was on SNL. Like it to me, I feel like he's a joke. I really
Yes.
don't think
Yes.
that he has the ability to actually be our president.
A lot of people, I completely agree. I feel like since he's such an extremist, he's not going to win. But a lot of people have made the comment saying, if he doesn't win the Republican candidate, you know, like the nomination, he should be an independent.
Oh, he could, you know, run as a third party.
Yeah, because he has enough money. He's not getting sponsored by any interest groups, like anybody. Like, this government is coming out. Do you see this? Oh my god. Yeah, like,
Education pays off.
but like, yeah, you know.
So, nearly 40 million people might not be able to access the internet starting in the new year. So, not everything is all joyous over the holiday season. What's happening is that the encryption on websites, the old version is SHA, and we're switching to, it's SHA-1, and we're updating to SHA-2. The sad thing is that people with phones 5 years and older will not be making that switch with us. So what's going on is that, again, they've made a new encryption that's replacing the current encryption that we have. And what the encryption is when you sign on to websites like Google, Facebook, Twitter, bank accounts, tons of other websites, and when they have a green HTTPS link and a little lock icon, that means that your access to this page is protected, it's safe, it's secure. Now with this update to change it, that means that people with the phones 5 years and older will not be able to access these major websites. And this is affecting a lot of the developing countries, a lot of people in poverty who can't afford these newer types of phones, and it's kind of forcing people to make this move to the future. And there are a lot of negativity surrounding this decision because it's just really unfair to say to someone that, well, your phone it's too old and now you can't, you know, your access to the internet is limited. The internet should be a place for everyone, but now it's like we're setting limits.
I feel like from where like the people they're trying to protect our privacy, they're doing great. Like that's great, you know.
That's definitely an issue.
But like, yeah, like you said, it's an issue. Like I feel like in their eyes, they're seeing, you know, like it's benefiting more people than it is like letting down more people.
That's kind of okay.
It's benefiting more people than it is letting down. So they think like, you know, like, well, it's okay. Like a lot more people are gonna be safer, you know. But the thing is, like Google, you know, Google uses that like protection. Like people use Google for everything.
Think of a world without Google.
Yeah, like even Facebook, right? Like Facebook, you contact your family. Like yeah, obviously, like maybe like our generation really doesn't use it, you know. But like I know my mom, like she goes on Facebook and she talks to my aunt, you know, like through that. And like a lot of people communicate through that, like people that are like in the army or like people that are here somewhere different in the world. Like that's a way to communicate through the internet. And like you said, like limiting the internet is that's very like discouraging. Like that just like, oh, well, I don't have enough money to pay for a new phone, but it still works. I can get on the internet, I can make phone calls, I can text people. and then just being like, oh, well, you can get on the internet, but on only certain sites.
I mean, it is very limited,
Yeah.
and the percentages. I mean, it's like 4 to 5% of the total internet users, but again, that adds up to 40 million people, and it's certainly not the majority, but it certainly isn't a small amount. We have, you know, people in like Yemen and Egypt and China that are going to be going without, you know, a connection, like you said, to family. What if you have, you know, people back home that you want to talk to and they're living in the States and they can't talk to these people because, you know, this new upgrade. I mean, definitely there are benefits. We obviously want secure sites. We want our information to be secure. There's, you know, all sorts of all these leaks happening on different sites. So we definitely want to up that security on the internet, but at what cost? And I really don't think there's a right or wrong answer in this decision.
Yeah. I feel like it's company, so obviously they're going to do what benefits them. You know, they're not really thinking about everything, but, you know, like you said, like, there's pros and cons to this, you know, like, the pros are, like, we're going to be safer, you know, like, obviously, everything's not going to be 100% safe, you know, like, obviously, the government needs something there. They can obviously, like, look at everything, you know, but, like, stuff like that, but then also, like, you have to keep in mind those people that it is affecting, because living without Google, that can really affect, like, no, like, that sounds really sad, like, knowing that we, like, depend on Google so much, but it's just something, like, all this education, all this learning is in the palm of our hands, and then being like, oh yeah, you have it, but you have half of it, a third of it. It's very limiting.
I mean, imagine all the sites you use that you go to that lock screen, like YouTube and Twitter and Instagram. So many. I can't even imagine the sites that don't use that. You know, what can you use?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Well, we're going to talk about another serious topic. A police was accused of failing to protect the 19-year-old domestic violence victim. Basically what happens, it was two housemates and she had a boyfriend. They got into an argument. He punched her in the face twice. He broke her nose, chipped a couple teeth, took out a couple teeth. I saw this on the internet, and the pictures were so graphic that it was like you had to like agree to see them. And that says a lot, you know, like for somebody to be like, pictures are graphic, you have to agree to see this, agree to that this is very graphic, you know, and it was like in huge letters, pictures are graphic. I saw the pictures, nothing but blood here. It was obvious that her nose had been broken. It looked like she had been hit, but she's saying that he hit her, and she told her housemate, like, hey, help me, he hit me, like, she's bleeding, she's crying, she's an emotional mess, you know, somebody just hit you, like, your boyfriend that's supposed to take care of you and protect you just hit her, and apparently it wasn't the first time that he had hit her, but they did not report it to the police the first time. It didn't seem like it. So they do go to report it, they detain the boyfriend, assuming he goes to jail for a day or so, you know, they post bail, like, he leaves, but the thing is, the boyfriend tells them, hey, you know, they have to ask you questions. The boyfriend tells them, hey, she fell. She fell. That's why she's like that. I don't know what else to say. Like, it's obvious that she didn't fall, but they're saying it as his word against her word. And his word is obviously winning, you know. So how do you feel?
It's a sad story because a lot of victims of domestic violence, they don't go to the police.
Yeah.
Like you said, in her past, she didn't go to the police, and now she has the courage. She finally takes the initiative to report him, and then she gets this.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely, like, I hope whoever allowed this to happen is charged and is punished for what they did, because it's, like you said, it's horrible.
Yeah.
How could you say that, oh, you know, like you said, the pictures of, you know, broken nose and blood everywhere, oh, she fell. Like, that's the age-old excuse of saying, oh, well, he didn't hit me, I fell, or no, this bruise on my, like, no, I hit this, I hit that. You know, how can they just believe that?
It's another thing to add, like, people don't really trust the police. They're like, they're not going to do anything. Reasons like this is why. Obviously, they need proof, but what more proof do you have than her crying to her housemate, and her housemate, like, testifying, like, yes, she came crying to me, like, this wasn't the first time, and I saw pictures of it, so obviously she took pictures of it. There was blood everywhere. What more proof do you need? You know, like, like obviously like the government's very like, oh, proof, like we can't just like, you know, like what is it?
Yeah,
Like
you're innocent, so
innocent,
guilty. But even then, when someone gives just such a weak excuse, like, oh, she fell.
Yeah.
You can't. You have to. No, that's just. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like, do they have daughters or sisters? How could they let this happen?
Yeah, like it's ridiculous. Like on the police's part, you know, like obviously like guy he's gonna do whatever he can to get out, but the police, like for you to let them go, for you to be like, oh, it's okay, you can go, and how are you gonna tell the girlfriend, hey, we let him go because you fell? The emotional stress that she has right now must be a humongous thing. She just got hit. She's going through a lot of, like, people know about it, so, like, people are like, what's going on? Her family's, like, freaking out, most likely. If she has siblings, cousins, whatever, they most likely want to beat them up. Like, it hurts. Like, just the fact, like, even just breaking up with the boyfriend hurts. And now domestic violence, that's another thing to add to the pain of, like, breaking up with the boyfriend. But the fact that he was detained, like you said, like she took the courage of going to report domestic violence, you know, because obviously it crossed the line. Like any part of domestic violence crosses a line. And for her to be going through all this, like that's just a lot of emotional stress.
Taking it on to a lighter note, it is the holiday season and it's filled with joy and cheer, but not at Starbucks apparently. So we saw them in the news maybe about a month ago with with them introducing the red cups, the holiday red cups. People were enraged, actually like furious on the internet, just going on rants because these cups did not have the holiday symbols that Starbucks had the previous years. So they're like, oh, look at this again. The war on Christmas once again has come through. And what we're seeing now is some internet user, not sure who he is, but some random internet user who likes to get people all stirred up, posted a picture of these polar bear cookies that are 5 years old. They're not even here now, but people didn't know that. They didn't research that. They saw these cookies, and it's a white polar bear with a red scarf around his neck. But the way that the icing drips, and I will admit, it looks like someone slit the polar bear's throat. And if you look these up, I'll put a link in the description. I mean, it honestly really looks like they're bleeding from their neck. So it's very anti-Christmas, and again, people, they discontinued these cookies probably because they look like they murdered the polar bear. But, you know, people are saying, oh, like, look, they got rid of the Christmas symbols, and now they're killing polar bears, like, they hate Christmas. And people were just so angry about it. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. This war on Christmas comes on, like, every Christmas season. When is it going to end?
I'm sorry, it's just so funny to me. Like, I love animals, don't get me wrong, but, like, okay, I'm killing a polar bear and I'm gonna sell you cookies, like, especially like a store like Starbucks, you know, like,
just imagine walking into Starbucks.
Like, do you want to kill a polar bear? Like, okay, like, what kind of nonsense is that? Like, it's just so ridiculous, the things that people are worried about right now. Like, so many things are going on in the world. They're worried about a cookie that's 5 years old. 5 years old. They're not even sold. Yeah.
It amazes me what people will get angry about on the internet, and then like they will do no research, but they'll be like, I am just so upset. And it's like, bro, like these cookies are not even in stores right now. Have you been to Starbucks? Like, what are you doing?
Oh my gosh. But Starbucks is doing a lot of things right now too. Like they have like their whole promotion going on about like Starbucks for a year, Starbucks for a month, week, whatever, how long. They have like their whole thing. So like Starbucks, like I'm still with you. Like holiday cups to me was not a big deal.
It really wasn't.
It was a lot of like creativeness. Like they were in the way I saw it. It was like, you know, like create your own cup, make your own memories. You know, like Starbucks is very big on the holiday season. You know, because that's when people are drinking coffee. Obviously, that's when they're getting a lot of their money. But like for this to be like now, like it just seems like they're attacking Starbucks, and it's just a polar bear cookie.
People just want to be angry. It's like they search for reasons. Like
they have nothing better to do.
5-year-old cookies. Like let's bring this back and get mad about it. That's crazy.
What was the person doing to the point where it's like 5-year leader cookies. They call it.
I don't know. He has too much time on his hands. But if you have time on your hands, you should tune in next week to watch our videos. We're posting every week. Of course, over the holiday break, we'll be taking a little hiatus. But once school comes back, we'll come back full force with more entertaining news stories, maybe a little bit more serious topics like we did this week. So thank you for watching.
Tell us what you guys want to see. Make sure you watch the other videos on this channel. Give us a like, thumbs up, whatever, comment, subscribe. Check us out. Yeah, if you're from Chatterview High School, tell us what you want to see. We have the various subcategories in our channel, so make sure to check everyone out. New things are coming our way. We have big projects. Don't you? We got you guys.
We got you. All right. Bye, guys.
That was a great transition.
Right? Right?